morning, dear students. In the last session, we have discussed what is the process of organizing and the benefits of organizing. So next, let us go through the next topic, that is organization structure. Organization structure. So what is organization structure then? So it is nothing but it is the outcome of that process. So we know that in organizing process we used to identify the activities, and we are going to make some different departments, and we are going to assign the duties, and we are going to clarify the authority responsibility relationship. So this process, so the result of this process or the outcome of this process itself can be called as the organization structure. So just in order to give clarity about this, I just want to take an example of a school structure, school management structure. So you take generally in a school, there will be usually there is a management committee. The management committee are the committee head I am taking now. There will be president. There will be president. So below president there will be principal. There will be principal, and below the principal there will be vice principal. Vice principal. So under vice principal there will be departmental heads, like suppose commerce, arts, science section. So like a sectional head or departmental head. Sectional heads or head madams. Again below them judge teachers. So likewise. So this is what how generally school organization structure or school management structure it seems like this. Okay. So it is just a process, and in this very clear. This particular organization structure is going to clarify who is responsible to the activities, and who is answerable to whom, and who has the authority to give orders. So it is going to give clarity about these aspects. Okay. So in simple words, organization structure means it is a framework. It is a framework within which it is a framework within which all managerial activities are performed. Okay. So in simple words, organization structure stands for, it is a framework within which all the managerial activities are performed. So this is a school management structure. Okay, it is a framework within which all the managerial activities are going to be performed. All the broad policies will be formed up by the management committee or the president. Then keeping that policies in mind, principals are going to make objectives set. They are going to set the objectives, and for the vice principal they are going to support them to implement the plans, and likewise it follows. So that is what organization structure is, nothing but the framework. It is a framework within which all the managerial tasks are going to be performed. Okay. So next, so there are two types of organization structure usually. Usually there are two types. In case of organization structure, there are two types. So one is the functional structure. One is functional structure and divisional structure. Functional structure and divisional structure. So what is functional structure and what is divisional structure then? So we know that organization structure is a framework within which the managerial tasks are to be performed. So whereas it can be classified into two types, that is functional structure and divisional structure. So whereas functional structure means we are going to make departments, no? Okay, we are going to make departments, and that groups or departments are created on the basis of functions performed in the organization. Okay, so the groups are made or the departments are created on the basis of functions to be performed. Okay, so what are the functions to be performed? So like we know that, so usually functions like production, okay, production, then marketing and sales, finance, okay, and even production, marketing, sales, finance, research and development, R&D. I can just write R&D, research and development department. So likewise, so we can make a or we are going to create a group. We are going to create departments on the basis of functions to be performed. So that is what functional structure is. Functional organization structure means. So we are going to make groups. We are going to make departments on the basis of functions to be performed. So like production department, marketing department, sales department, finance department, research and development department. Likewise, these are the functions to be performed, and we are going to make departments or group on the basis of these functions, and that is what a functional structure is. And when it comes to divisional structure, we are going to make departments on the basis of product. On the basis of product, suppose an organization is going to deal with the number of products. So in such cases, so product A, product B, product C, likewise. So that we will go for the detailed discussion in the later classes. So just let me go through detailed discussion about this particular, that is functional structure. Okay, so it is very clear. Departments are going to be created or groups are going to be created on the basis of functions to be performed. Okay, like functional production department, marketing department, sales department, finance department, or research and development department. Each department is going to be headed by one manager. Okay, he is responsible to the successful completion of activities in each department. Okay, and usually this type of organizational structure suits to those business organizations which are very medium or large, medium or small scale. Okay, these are going to suitable to the small scale businesses or which are dealing in very medium range activities. Okay, and where usually it requires, it demands some functional specializations to be performed, where it requires some specialization in particular function wise. In such case of organizations, it is more important. Okay, so then let us go through what are the advantages and disadvantages. Then what are the advantages and disadvantages? So let me go through the advantages of advantages and disadvantages of this structure. Okay, so very first thing, so just let me discuss what are the advantages. Okay, what are the advantages of functional structure? The very first thing is functional specialization. Functional specialization. So obviously we are going to create groups on the basis of functions to be performed. So as a result of it, employees working in the particular department or the managers who are going to head the particular department, so they are going to be expert in that particular function. So in order to perform that function, they are going to be perfect. It makes them experts. It makes them specialized in dealing with that task, because in this particular thing, so we are going to allocate the specific activities. They are going to perform specific activities concerned to the specific department. So that results in functional specialization. Okay, so that is one of the benefit, because they are going to deal with the problems related to that particular department. Take marketing department, marketing manager, he is going to deal with the problems of that particular department only. So as a result of that, so it creates functional specialization in the particular head of the department. Okay, so that may be any other department like finance, R&D, or production, whichever. So concerned departmental heads, they are going to expert in performing the particular tasks. Okay, so it creates a functional specialization. Then second thing, managerial efficiency, improves managerial efficiency, managerial efficiency. So obviously, when we discuss the word efficiency, so it stands for with less cost, with less wastages, with less efforts, we have to gain more output, we have to get a extra result. Okay, improve in the results, improvement in the results. That is what efficiency is all about. So here managerial efficiency, how it is going to be a result into managerial efficiency, how it is going to create managerial efficiency, because as I told, if suppose you take financial manager, financial department, so the manager one who is going to head this particular department is going to deal with the issues of that particular department only. So as a result of it, it creates him to be expert in delivering that particular activities. So he can exercise his activities in an efficient manner. Okay, that is nothing but he can take a better results, because as he is special in that particular department, as he is going to deal in the same department for some number of n number of times, so he can deal with the problems, he can solve the problems in a quick at a quick rate. Okay, so that is what a manager efficiency is about. Then each functions get due attention. One more important benefit is each function is going to get each function gets due attention obviously. So when in the organization we are going to make departments like marketing, sales, finance and R&D. Okay, so each departmental head is going to deal with the problems of concerned department. So as a result of it, we are not going to avoid, we are not going to neglect any particular department. So each particular department is going to get due attention. Due attention in the sense, every organizational department, every function of the organization is going to get a deep attention. We can focus on every functions of the management. So that is what each function or each department gets a due attention. That is also one of the major benefit. So moving to the next one, the benefit, it is very easy. It is very easy to train. Okay, training. So we can give training very easily to the employees, because they need limited range of skills to be delivered. You take any particular department, suppose you take a marketing department, or suppose you take a production department. So the employees in the organization or the manager in the particular department, he needs to deliver only limited range of skills. So as a result of it, we need not to train him in the different aspects. We have to train the employees, and we have to train the particular head in that concerned function. Okay, so that enables us to train him very easily, because we need to train him very limited range of skills which are required to deliver the one specific function. Okay, so he need not to be expertise in the different functions, because he is going to deal with another times, he is going to deal with the same problems. So it makes our job very easy, that we can give training to those employees in the particular department only. Okay, that helps us or that enables us to train the employees in an easier manner. Okay, that is one of the benefit. So when it comes to disadvantages, when it comes to the disadvantages, obviously when there are some advantages, on the other hand there are some disadvantages of this structure also, this particular organization structure. So those are, for the very first thing is more emphasis on the departmental objectives. Okay, we are going to give more emphasis on departmental objectives. Very first thing is, so because each department, each particular department, they are going to concentrate on their particular department only, because every departmental heads and every departmental employees, they want to show they are doing better than the others. So in this process, so they are going to give more importance on the particular department. So that neglects the objective of organization as a whole. Okay, so as a whole, we need to focus on the organization objective as a whole, but rather than that, so in this particular organization structure, we are going to give more emphasis on the particular departmental objectives that may neglect the overall organizational objective. That is the one of the demerit. Then second thing is conflict of interest. So in this particular functional structure, sometimes there will be a lack of coordination, or it may create some departmental conflicts. So conflict between two different departments may arises, because when there is a difference of opinion between two departments, okay, take an example of marketing department. So it may decide, just in order to improve sales, it may decide to give some 10% discount. Okay, it has decided to give 10% discount, and thereby it can improve the sales. Okay, so where finance department may not agree with that, it may feel, or it may instruct the other department that if you are giving 10% discount, if the organization is going to face loss. It may tell only you are allowed to give discount up to 5%, 4 or 5%. So in such cases, marketing department wants to give 10% discount, whereas finance department is going to give agreement only up to 4-5%. So in such cases, it creates conflict between the different departments. So that is what one of the demerit of this organizational structure, this functional structure. Then it is difficult to fix the responsibility. One more demerit is difficult to fix the responsibility. Okay, it is difficult to fix responsibility. So if we are going to make departments on the basis of particular functions, so in such cases, suppose the organization is going to face losses if we are not going to get expected returns. So in such cases, it is very difficult to pinpoint where we went wrong. Okay, which particular department, because of which particular department we are facing losses. Whether it is inefficiency of production, or whether it is inefficiency of marketing department, or we are failed to succeed in the R&D department. So it is very difficult to pinpoint particular department, okay, for the loss. So in case of losses, it is difficult to show fingers towards a particular department, because maybe it may be a fault of production department, it may be a fault of marketing, finance, or R&D. So it is very difficult to pinpoint particular department, or it is difficult to make one particular department responsible for the losses. That is what one of the demerit. Then the other thing is managerial development is not possible. Okay, managerial managerial development, managerial development is managerial development is difficult. Obviously, managerial development is difficult. So managerial development difficult in the sense we are not going to get one person who is good at different departments, because we made a manager on the basis of on the basis of functions to be performed. So as a result of it, each departmental head will be best in performing that particular functions, but it is difficult to get one individual who is good at all the other activities. Okay, so we need a manager, or we need a future manager who has a skill to deal with the different departmental problems. Here, departmental head is going to concentrate on particularly on the respective department. So as a result of it, it is difficult to get one individual who is good at delivering the different type of activities. So that is one of the difficulty. Okay, it is difficult to manage development, or it is difficult to create a future manager. Okay, that is about one of the disadvantages. Okay, so that's about the organizational structure, and that too functional structure. So in the next class we'll go for the other. So till then, stay at home, keep learning. Thank you.